Good morning, beautiful people. It is Monday, February 24th, 2020, 2:24. Kobe and Gianna Bryant have their services today in Los Angeles. Like we said then, like we say now, rest in peace to both of them. The world lost two beautiful souls. This past weekend, although it's not NFL season, was loaded with great sports talk. The Gypsy King, Tyson Fury, was absolutely dominant in a 7th-round TKO against Deontay Wilder. A Zamboni driver now has an undefeated NHL record as a goalie in Canada. Braun hit a massive fadeaway for the NBA in a Sunday showcase. In college hoops, a kid from Montana State drained a full-court shot that sent the entire state of Montana into a frenzy. The Montanimals are losing their mind. We'll talk to that kid today in 34 minutes. Trey Wingo got ratioed. Bad on Twitter for lying about wildlife in his backyard. The XFL had another good weekend of football. The St. Louis Battlehawks fans might be my favorite set of fans in the history of fanhood. Patrick Reed won a golf tournament in Mexico City. He's a really good golfer, even though he is insufferable. I would love to say something about baseball, but the most relevant thing that happened this past weekend from the MLB, okay, and they're all in spring training right now. The most relevant thing was when the Houston Astros stole signs again, this time from their fans. It was a great weekend in sports. It's going to be a great show today. We have Chris Harris Jr. calling in the second hour. We got that kid from Montana State that had a T-shirt tucked into his jeans running around a court in Montana. 1-833-622-3331. We want you to join us. But right now, Evan Foxy, please play some Chase Rice.
It's the perfect occasion for a little vacation from the heart of the nation. Not your medication, 2 hours of magic. Let's give it a go. Ladies and gents, it's the Pat McAfee Show.
You're damn right it is Chase Rice. It is the Pat McAfee Show. I am he. It is Monday, February 24th. Joining me at Tone Diggs, at Ty Schmidt. Jason McAfee's back there. Cuban Zeet has joined us. Fresh Cigar at Evan Foxy. And Boston Connor is on the phones. At Nick Morato's on the ones and twos. Let's dive right into it. I had no idea that Tyson Fury was that good at boxing. Okay? I was lied to. I want to let everybody know I was lied to. Now, whenever I say that I'm not a big boxing follower, I think everybody knows that, right? Not a big boxing follower. Haven't been a big boxing follower until this past weekend, by the way. All I saw and all I seen on TV last week leading up to this massive fight was Deontay Wilder knocking Tyson Fury on his back a couple times. Then I saw Deontay Wilder talking. Then I heard rumors that there was a thought that the Gypsy King might retire. And all I could think of, and Deontay Wilder was the favorite on the book. I'm like, wow, he's an American man fighting against a Brit, okay? He's got a lot to fight for. He's not even thinking about retiring. He knocked him down last time. Everybody's saying he's got the heaviest hands. He has the highest knockout percentage in the history of boxing. I'm like, oh, this is a lock for Deontay Wilder. Then I watched that fight. Boy, the big Jippo, the Gypsy King, Tyson Fury, that guy is entertaining to watch. He made me a boxing fan in 7 rounds of boxing. Now, I knew that my very hefty, very high wager on Deontay Wilder was as good as gone about a minute and a half into the fight. I knew that he had no shot. And at that point, I had to pivot my emotions from being upset about what I lost to just, you know what, let's try to enjoy this thing. Now, it didn't start until like 11:30 at night. I watched some of the undercard as well. There was like a 7-foot-tall guy fighting at lightweight. Yeah. That guy, I don't know how he's ever going to lose. He might just win forever. But then when it finally got to the fight, the theatrics of the entrance, everybody loved Tyson Fury's entrance. In my eyes, I thought it was a little slow. A lot of people saw the highlights. They saw the picture. They might not have came in until late. I was watching it live. It was a little long. The song was not a song I would choose, but hey, I'm not walking into a ring to fight somebody. So whatever you want to do, you got to do. Now, Deontay Wilder comes out, incredible costume. talk about black magic, black excellence. I'm like, okay, here we go. This is my guy. He's fighting. He's ready to go. Okay, and then they showed the preview. They were in the locker room. Tyson Fury was dancing and having the time of his life, licking his hand, smacking the booty, humping things. Deontay Wilder was pacing. I'm like, this guy, Tyson Fury, doesn't give a single damn about this fight. Does not care at all. Then you hear Tyson Fury talk, and he said, me dad said this is going to be the easiest fight of me life. And I'm like, oh my God, the whole family doesn't care. And then as soon as he got in there, the amount of pressure that he put on Deontay Wilder, not only just coming straight at him, but also laying on him at every single opportunity he had. His quick twitch, he had this twitch about him. He was faster than Deontay Wilder. He was more technically sound than Deontay Wilder. He had a better plan than Deontay Wilder. He was bigger than Deontay Wilder. And he seemed to throw a better punch than Deontay Wilder in every single facet of fighting. Tyson Fury just embarrassed Deontay Wilder. Now, Deontay Wilder is an absolute beast of a man. He's an animal, right? Anybody that's willing to get in there and fight is obviously admirable. But boy, I, alongside many other people, thought that, now this is untrained. I even sent out a tweet. I was like, do the people that know boxing knew that this was going to happen? Teddy Atlas last week on ESPN thought that Deontay Wilder was going to get a win. He trained Tyson. That guy was in boxing. He thought, I don't think anybody, now a lot of people were like, well, I knew it was going to happen. And they showed me their tweets of them betting like the plus 420 or whatever it was for Tyson Fury to knock out. But man, I loved watching the big Jippo, the big Gypsy King Tyson Fury fight. I'm almost mad that I missed his first 20-some fights. I had a blast watching that. And boy, I had a hole in my eardrum for a long time. Me and Deontay Wilder understand how terrible that has to be. But that was a dominant fight from Jump Street by Tyson Fury. And his corner said, time to go home. That's literally what they said to him before the 7th round. They're like, time to go home. And he was like, oh, okay, that means now's the time to end this thing. And it was over. I mean, that was awesome to watch. Good for boxing. Not great for my bank account, but I love the big Jippo, Tyson Fury.
I fell into the physical look of him. Like the one thing you can't do.
Fat.
Exactly. It's like he shows
day
up,
for us.
he's big, he's sloppy, and
Yes.
it's like, oh, Deontay Wilder's cut up. And then they said he came in, 40 pounds heavier. I was like, all right, well, he's just going to wear him out. That worked to his game plan perfectly. He just wore down Wilder. They probably realistically should have thrown in the towel and stopped that fight earlier.
They talked to Deontay Wilder before the fight, and he weighed like 231 or something like that. They're like, this is the heaviest you've ever been. He was like, I don't really care about my weight. Like, whatever my body is, my body is. And Tyson Fury's camp was like, no, we put weight on purpose. Yeah. They're like, every single part of it was planned out for Tyson Fury. When Deontay Wilder, it didn't feel that
Well,
way.
Thursday when we were watching the press conference, Fury said exactly what he was going to do. He said bullies don't like being bullied, and he bullied him from the very beginning.
Right at him. Just absolutely went right at him. And the human that I'm happy I got introduced to this entire thing is Tyson Fury's dad, okay? Tyson Fury, I said this in the earlier, Tyson Fury's dad told Tyson Fury before the first Deontay Wilder fight that he should be scared, right? He was like, you should be scared. This is going to be a very hard fight. Then before this fight, Tyson Fury says that his dad, he told me this is going to be my easiest fight of whatever, right? Then his dad, obviously, everybody's talking about what's next. Nobody wants Deontay Wilder to do the rematch clause that was set in for the next 30 days. Nobody wants him to do that because they think he should have to rebuild back up. That was an embarrassing loss for Deontay Wilder. They think emotionally and mentally, this might be very difficult, right? Because he's the bomber. He's the bronze bomb squad and everything like that. And he got bombed on. Everybody's hoping he'll be back. I hope he'll be back. Everybody's thinking his next fight's going to be Anthony Joshua. This is what Tyson Fury's dad said about a potential fight between Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua.
You know, like the aliens are light years in front of us in brain power. That's how my son is in front of Joshua in ability. Do you understand me now, what I'm saying? Do I get the picture across? He can't do it. He's got slow feet. He's got a few flash hands. He goes like that. 1, 2 left up, chin stuck in the air. You see him, he's blown out of his arse. I mean, he gets a bit of pressure put on him. Tyson will do more than pressurise him, mate. He'll be crying after 4 rounds. Tears will be rolling out of his eyes like Marifat peas. But he can't do any good. He'll be swinging like that. Oh, where's he gone? Pop, pop, bang. On the floor. End of. Give me them belts back where you stole them, you bum. And that's it.
Will we see this fight next year, in your opinion?
No, I don't think he will, because he's too frightened. He'll retire before he faces Tyson Fury. The Gypsy King will retire him without even fighting him, and I've said it first. He'll retire him without even fighting him. because he hasn't got nothing to beat him with. He don't need money. The lad's a trillionaire. He don't need it. So why would you mucky your legacy by letting a big jippo spark you right out? End off. To answer all them questions. That's what it is. The jippo will spark him out because he got no tip back with.
I mean, he sounds Irish. It sounds like a leprechaun speaking wherever he's speaking. But I guess this guy is like a fortune teller for boxing because everything he said, everybody's been like spot on. That Anthony Joshua, he's the guy that got knocked out by Ruiz.
Yep.
And now he won a fight against Ruiz in Saudi Arabia or whatever. I mean, I want to watch Tyson Fury box next week. I'm going to go back and watch all of his old fights. I am very intrigued by this guy, and I'm very happy I finally got introduced to him here at the year 32 of my life.
Well, it's nice because he also has he has flair when he boxes too, which you love to like. He's got a personality in the ring while he's fighting.
He's a big jippo. Imagine if you were that big, 6'7" or whatever, 6'9", 273 pounds, and knew that you could just knock out anybody that you wanted to knock out. That's like whenever Matreon was hanging out around here, and Matreon's from Indiana, and he's a former UFC fighter, former Bellator fighter, but he's like 6'6", 280 pounds, and he's trained in mixed martial arts, and he's good at it. He walks into a bar, like, what's the bouncer going to do? Like, what if you want him to leave? He'll leave whenever he wants to. Like, that's exactly what Tyson Fury is. Like, there's nobody that can tell that man anything. And I guess that's what the Gypsy King means is in the Irish traveling gypsy family, the Gypsy King is the best fighter of the group, and he's the one that has to go fight other people. I guess his uncle was the Gypsy King. His grandfather was the Gypsy King. So this title is a massive title. And they just got this guy, Tyson Fury, who's bigger, stronger, faster, and a better fighter than everybody else. What an animal of a man. I am very disappointed. I had no idea who he was before this.
I also didn't realize that for some reason I thought he was like 37 or he's 31. Like he's still like in the prime of his career. So I have a feeling we're going to be seeing him a lot more over the next couple of years.
Still got 4 years, 5 years of me if I want. That guy is awesome, dude. I'm a Tyson Fury, massive
huge.
Tyson Fury fan. The whole thing, he was just like moving the entire time. He was just laying his big ass body all over Deontay Wilder.
Licking the blood.
Well, I don't think he ever touched the blood. I think he did the Shakira tongue flip. I don't think he touched any of the blood. Still awesome, by the way. Yeah. Still awesome in the middle of the fight. You have enough clear. And you told me that he puts his hands behind his back sometimes. Very different game plan this time. He was going straight at
In
him.
the first fight, he had his hands behind his back a lot.
Yeah, I love this guy. 273 pounds, 6'9", can do whatever the hell he wants, and has a great. By the way, can sing good too.
Oh yeah,
sang the entire song of American Pie. It's like a 45-minute song. I absolutely love it. We got to get to a break. We'll get some phone calls on the other side. Tyler, Phil, Robert, Jonathan, Liam, and Albert. Old King Albert.
Big Al.
Big Al from where? Oklahoma City.
Oh yeah.
I like that a lot. I'm gonna read an ad read right now, and I want you to guess how much this costs. The company. I want people to guess how much this costs the company to pay for it. Whenever you are selected, beat drop please. Whenever you are selected for a phone call, I would like you to guess what the price is for this thing I'm about to buy. This is a wild business. With the home security, there's two ways you can go about protecting your home. There's the traditional way where you wait weeks and weeks for a technician to do a messy installation that costs a small fortune, or there's the other way, SimpliSafe. SimpliSafe is everything you need in a home security system. It's award-winning protection, two-time winner of CNET Editor's Choice Award. Congratulations to them. SimpliSafe blankets your whole home in safety. You get comprehensive protection for your entire home. Outdoor cameras and doorbells alert you to anyone approaching your home. Entry, motion, and glass break sensors guard inside. You barely notice it's there, but what's truly remarkable is you can set up this system all by yourself. Anyone can do it, even Zito. It takes just 30 minutes to an hour tops. And then there's absolutely no trade-offs to your safety. You have an army of highly trained security experts ready to dispatch police to your home at a moment's notice 24/7. And it's only 50 cents a day with no contracts. It's why The Verge calls SimpliSafe the best home security system ever. Go to simplisafe.com/Pat today, and you get free shipping and a 60-day risk-free trial. You've got nothing to lose. Go now and be sure you go to simplisafe.com/Pat. That's simplisafe.com/Pat. Couple phones on the other side. Massive fan of the St. Louis Battlehawks fan base. Love everything about them. Love the performance they put on this weekend. Will the XFL survive? We'll talk about that on the other side as well. This is the Pat McAfee Show.
what's happening. People are freeing themselves from their wireless contracts. It's a movement towards something simple. Get truly unlimited data on a 5G-ready network for just $45 a month, with no contract, ever. Simple Mobile. Out with the old, in with the simple.
Welcome back to the Pat McAfee Show here on this beautiful Monday, February 24th. Let's go to Tyler in Hawaii. He's been on hold since 30 minutes before the show started. Tyler, what's going on, pal?
Hey, thank you for taking my call, Mr. McAfee. I wanted to ask.
It's 5:20 a.m. Right?
Burrow.
Hold on, Tyler. Are you really in Hawaii or are you from Hawaii?
I'm in Hawaii.
It is 5:20 a.m. there. Am I accurate?
Yes, sir.
I appreciate you getting up this morning, and you've been on hold for an hour, too. So at 4:20, respect to you getting on hold here and calling in, Tyler. I can't wait to hear what you have to say. Love where you're calling from.
Thank you. I hope we treated you well when you were here a couple weeks ago. I have a question about Joe Burrow because I don't understand why everyone thinks he's the number one. He's going to be the number one overall pick. I don't understand why people want to take him the number one overall because we see these one-year wonders. You know, Paxton Lynch was a star for a year. Mark Sanchez was a star from 1 year. The love of my life, Mitch the Truth Bisky, who suck.
Oh, come on.
Was starting for 1 year, and these guys don't pan out. Like Dwayne Haskins, he played for 1 year, and he stunk last year in Washington. He was taking selfies on the sideline when their team was supposed to be winning games. I don't understand why people think that Joe Burrow, who's
all right, Tyler.
Hot take alert.
What are they eating over there?
I love that kid.
Yeah, but some of the things, like I
right.
appreciate Tyler. I appreciate Tyler just sawing down a bunch of bad people. Paxton Lynch was never a star.
No.
When was that? Paxton Lynch was.
Memphis, he threw for like 1 billion yards and touchdowns.
We're talking about NFL. We're talking about NFL. I don't care about that student human athlete stuff. I'm talking about the NFL. He was never a star. He said they're one-hit wonders.
Yeah, in
Paxton
college.
Lynch was never a one-hit wonder. Oh, you're talking about in
College,
college.
they were one-hit wonders.
Oh, it's Sanchez. Sanchez took the Jets to the AFC Championship like 3 years in a row or something, like 2 years in a row. I understand and respect that. Trubisky. Now, he also had a great year in the NFL as well last year. Something happened this year. I think every situation is so different you can't judge it. It's like Ryan Leaf. Who would have known that Ryan Leaf was going to turn out to be Ryan Leaf? That's why whenever you draft somebody, instead of using a vet, which if you look at I think that's why Gruden. Like, there hasn't been any conversation about the Raiders trading up for a rookie quarterback. There's only been conversation about the Raiders getting a veteran quarterback. And the Chargers, too. You're not hearing them really move. You're talking about a veteran quarterback. And I think nowadays, especially with how the league is and how the uncertainty of whether or not players are going to pan out, especially in the world that we live in where there's a lot of money off the field to be had if you have any notoriety at all. I think you're going to see a lot of teams potentially operate in free agency a lot more than the draft for some positions. And I think it's just because you know exactly what you're getting almost. But with these college kids, you have no idea. Joe Burrow could be the next Peyton Manning. You have no idea, Tyler. Like, literally, nobody has any clue what Joe Burrow is going to be in the NFL. But I think if you look at his story, I think if you look at his grit, there's little tiny determining factors that say his mentality is going to be different than those that stink before him. And I would assume that is all leading to why people think he's the number one pick. This morning in Indianapolis, the combine has started, which it is every single year. Jim Irsay talked about that in his presser yesterday. A little tradition, brother. Combine's always here. Now, his dad did drive a team from Baltimore to Indianapolis overnight, but I think Jim Irsay has operated in a much different manner than his father has. I think Indianapolis is a perfect host for the combine. I think every NFL team that comes here loves this place. I think that Yahoo Sports guy is a buffoon, obviously, who is talking out of his ass or out of pocket about it. Indianapolis is a good place. But this week, the Tights Olympics begins. The first thing was the QB measurables. And there is an analytic here that could draw some wait a minute, especially in Cincinnati, which is a bad weather place in the AFC North that has a lot of windy stadiums. Joe Burrow's height, 6'3 and a half. Not bad, 6'3 and a half. 6'3.5, I guess. Weight, 221. Good weight, okay? I was 221 at 5'10 at one point. I'm now 260 at 6'1". And his hand is only 9 inches in comparison to Tua Tagovailoa. Hand was 9 7/8. Air Bears, 10 inches. Eason, I don't even know who that is, 9.5. Hurts, 9 3/4. Okay? So Joe Burrow has the smallest hand amongst the top 5 quarterbacks. Is that something that the Cincinnati Bengals are going to say, you know what? Let's trade this pick to the Carolina Panthers. Let them deal with whether or not his tiny little hands are going to be able to throw an NFL ball in bad weather places? Or is this going to be a factor that they don't even worry about? I would assume the latter. Let's lock in Joe Burrow to the Bengals. But boy, if they trade away that pick, they are setting themselves up for a hilarious teardown by every human in the media.
I think the biggest difference, too, talking about Joe Burrow, like those other guys he mentioned were good, if not great, college quarterbacks. Joe Burrow just had the best statistical season ever in, like, the history of collegiate athletics. Like, so he did everything he had to do. He won a national championship. He won a Heisman. Everything that was put into his path, he destroyed.
Let's go to Robert in Indiana. Oh, Bob. What's up, Bob? Robert.
Bobby.
Rob. Connor, how do you...
You said Indiana, not Speedway. I thought it was from Speedway.
Okay. All right, Bob. Let's go to Liam in Pennsylvania. Liam, what's up? Speedway is obviously a city within Indianapolis, Indiana. So, I mean, I respect Robert for taking a little stand for a town that hosts the Indy 500 every single year. But outside of that weekend is a hellhole of a place. So let's go to Liam. What's up, Liam?
Hey, Pat.
What's going on, dude?
Hey, okay, so I kind of like, what are your thoughts on this? And this is a perfect scenario, okay? So Tom meets with the Raiders, and he doesn't sign for whatever reason. So now Gruden's looking for a quarterback. He takes Taysom because he's a restricted free agent. The Saints don't match it. They get the first pick. They take, with that 12th pick, Jerry Jeudy, and with the 24th pick, take Jordan Love, little Patty Mahomes. Patriots build in the offseason, get a pick. They get the wide receiver for Tom, and now Michael Thomas has someone lined up next to him with Jerry Jeudy.
So deep. The problem with the Patriots and Tom Brady is the salary cap issue. They only have $50 million, I believe, in salary cap room. Get rid of Mohamed Sanu.
Yep.
You have $57 million. Yep. If Tom Brady is going to take this, $35 million or whatever he wants it, by the way, none of this comes from Tom Brady. This all comes from sources and people making things up, like us, by the way. What we heard was Tom Brady wants $40 million, right? Didn't we hear that?
Yeah.
Almost $50 million. Tom Brady wants $50 million guaranteed. That's the entire salary cap of the Patriots. That's going to be tough. But in all seriousness, though, they don't have enough money to bring in enough weapons for him. We have no idea what Tom Brady wants. Nobody does. Nobody has a clue what Tom Brady wants or what he needs, but I know they don't have enough money to build up whatever he could potentially be looking for if it is in offensive weapons. And to be honest, as a Patriots fan, that has to be a bit scary.
A bit scary would be an understatement. I mean, I have nightmares about this scenario here, Pat.
Okay.
But for me, do you think that it's realistic that Brady at this point in his career wants money more than he wants championships?
I think he has 6 of them, right? He already has 6 championships. So the thought that he wants another one, valid, very, very valid. But he's also taking a pay cut every single year to win those. I don't know maybe it's just respect that he wants. Maybe it's just he wants some respect, right? Because he's taking a pay cut for them to build up the roster. You look at the offensive side of the roster last year, they didn't do that. So what was his pay cut for? For them to build up a good defense? Well, then ipso facto, I'm taking a pay cut for something that isn't actually benefiting me on the field as much as I would hope it is. And I think that's why he's upset. I think that is honestly what he's upset. He's like, listen, I've taken less cash. I put in the team and the trust in your brain to do that. And our offense was nowhere near the level it had to be to keep up with the incredible defensive side of the ball that you had.
It's funny you say that because he's made $235 million in his career, which is a lot. And he's won 6 championships, which is a lot. So he's done a lot of both. Maybe it is just a respect.
Hey, we'll throw his jersey in the rafters if that's what he wants. I mean, whatever he wants, we'll do it.
Let's get to another break here. We got the kid from Montana State named Joe who drained a full court shot for, listen to this, $11,000.
Yeah. That goes a long way in Montana, though.
It goes a long way everywhere. But if you make a layup, a free throw, a three-pointer, a half-court shot, and a full-court shot in probably a minute, I think we deserve a little bit more, like free tuition, especially because this is the first time Montana State has been spoken about by anybody outside the state of Montana in a front forever. This kid deserves a scholarship.
He does.
He might be on scholarship already for farming or something. We have no idea. We'll talk to him on the other side. Look around you. It's a wireless world, and everyone needs a great pair of wireless earbuds. How much do you think this ad is costing me to read right now?
You're asking us, sir?
No. Just the listeners. Think to yourself, how much you think this company would pay for this ad read? We're on over 100 and I think 30 stations or something like 150. I have no idea what it is. We're live on YouTube. We're live on DAZN. How much money do you think Ray J, H-A-H-A, is spending for this particular ad read. Just think to yourself at home. And then think about why the radio business is dying. Look around you. It's a wireless world, and everyone needs a great pair of wireless earbuds. And you already know Raycon earbuds start at about half the price of any other premium wireless earbuds on the market, and that they sound just as amazing as other top audio brands you know. And Raycon's latest model, the E25, is their best one yet. With 6 hours of playtime, seamless Bluetooth pairing, more bass, and a more compact design, it gives you a nice noise-isolating fit. Raycon's wireless earbuds are so comfortable, it's perfect for on-the-go listening or for taking phone calls. Unlike some of your other wireless options, Raycon earbuds are both stylish and discreet with no dangling wires or stems. You've heard us talk about how the company was co-founded by Ray J, and celebrities like Snoop Dogg, Cardi B, Melissa Etheridge, Brandy, J.R. Smith are obsessed with Raycons, but now it's time for you to see what the hype is all about. Get 15% off your order at buyraycon.com/Pat. That's buyraycon.com/Pat for 15% off Raycon wireless earbuds. Buyraycon.com/Pat. How much did Raycon pay for that, you think? If it's more than $100, you're wrong. This is the Pat McAfee Show.
At Simple Mobile, you get the no contract advantage. Unlimited talk, text, and data now for $30 a month. Now on a 5G ready network with no activation fees ever. No confusion, no complexity, no frustration, and no contract. Ever, ever, ever. Now get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a month. And now 5G ready. It's our best deal ever. Buy yours now at nationwide retailers or at Simple Mobile dealers. Learn more at simplemobile.com. Simple Mobile. Out with the old, in with the simple.
Dance with me. Dance with me.
I was just told that I should not say the word Jippo. Somebody tweeted me saying that even though his father called him the big Jippo, I guess that is only for gypsies to use. Now, my name is Patrick McAfee, though. Okay, my ancestors were Irish gypsies. So if you go through the semen down, I have gypsy heritage. So whoever tweeted me that, I would like for you not to tweet that word because you are not a Jippo. I am a Jippo. So enough with that. Also, $80 is how much these companies pay for us to read. So if you would like us to read something for $80 on this show, please tweet at Viva Lazito. We can just fill this entire show with $80 reads and hopefully be able to keep these lights on at some point. Just found that out this morning. Wild world, this radio business. Also a wild world is this kid's life now. If you didn't see this weekend, Montana State captivated the world whenever a kid named Joe Thompson went onto the court, and this is how it ended. Ooh. We have no sound.
No sound on it.
No sound at all on the thing. What happened there? I don't know. Anyways, Joe Thompson hits a layup, a free throw, a three-pointer, a half-court shot, and then caps it off with a full-court shot, then gives a shout-out to Kobe Bryant. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now from Montana State, the man that tucked in his T-shirt into his jeans and gave a heave for 11,000. Montana State greatness, Joe Thompson.
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Joe, okay, big question. How did you get picked for this contest? What was this contest? And did you have any clue that any of these balls were going to go in the hoop?
No. So the contest was I go to all the games. And one of the guys from the Bobcats Properties was like, "Hey, you want to do it?" And I was like, "Yeah, that sounds fun. I think I could do that."
Okay.
I mean, I stopped playing basketball in 8th grade. I haven't shot a hoop in 2 weeks. Like, I shot one shot 2 weeks ago, and that was it.
Okay, so
no prep.
Is the contest one that happens at the arena often, or is this like the first time it's been done?
From my understanding, it's been done for 6 years, and it's every men's game. And I'm the first person to make the full court.
Okay, so you have to make a layup first.
Yep.
Then a free throw.
Nailed it.
Three-pointer.
Missed the first one.
Okay. Made the second one. Did you bank it in, swish, or what was it?
I don't remember. I have no idea. I was running to the half-court line.
Okay, then you make the half-court one. First try.
First try, swoosh.
Oh, my God. So that place had to be so electric by the time you got back to the full court. Is this all in a minute it has to happen?
Yeah, so I had 60 seconds to do it, and I knocked out the first 4 in 15 seconds.
Okay, so here we go. Now we're back at the full court. How many balls are on the court for you to potentially run through?
I had three balls on the court.
Okay.
And like a stream of people just relaying them back to me. And I think I made it on my 4th or 5th shot.
Oh, your first one. How far off was it?
Oh, it was so bad. I didn't even make it to the 3-point line.
Oh, so was there any chance of doubt? Was there a thought of doubt, like there's no chance this is going in? Or did you feel like, you know what, I think I can make this thing?
Okay, so I drained the half court.
Okay.
Crowd starts standing up. They're cheering.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Here we
Everyone's in it. Everyone's like, okay, he has a chance. Through the first one, and everyone's like, never mind.
Sat back down?
Yeah, everyone's just energy level just dropped. They were like, nah, he doesn't have it. Like, let's go to the concession stand. But
and then
second one, a little better. Third one, right on target, not hard enough. And then I nailed it.
Okay. Did you have the Kobe Bryant celebration logged in your brain for that moment? Or was that just natural? This is something that Kobe would do. He deserves this respect. Or is that just something that kind of came to you at the spur of the moment?
That's something natural for, I think, our whole generation.
Yep.
Absolutely. Like everyone. If you make a half court shot, that you still say Kobe.
Yep.
You make a full court shot, it's like that's so natural.
I want to let you know, I think I would have reacted much differently than you. You were very calm. You were much calmer than I think I would have been if I would have just hit a free throw, a layup, free throw, three-pointer, half-court shot, and a full court. I would have lost my day. I would have jumped up on the scorer's table. You were very professional through that whole thing.
I guess, yeah. Some like the comments on all the videos, they're hilarious. They're like roasting me. I would have jumped on the table. Like, this dude probably owns goats.
Do you?
Okay.
Do you own goats?
No, but I've seen them.
A lot of people said, I saw whenever I tweeted out the video, about 75% of the comments were, if you were to close your eyes and picture what a kid from Montana State would look like, bingo, that's exactly what it looks like. I don't think that's something to be scared of, though.
I mean, it works for me.
What's your major over there?
I study film production.
Oh, really? Montana State
yeah, you guys
has
hiring interns?
Yeah, we are. I mean, especially ones that can drain full court shots on their 4th attempt. I would love that.
All right, yeah, let's do it.
Are you from?
I'll send you a resume after this.
Hey, respect. I already saw your resume, dude. You make content that gets millions of views and is all over the place. That's what you do.
It has more views than the state of Montana. Like, it's like if everyone in Montana watched the video 2 times, and that includes like all the Alzheimer's patients and like all the 2-month-olds. It blew up.
Did you only win $11,000? That was a lot of people's thoughts. It was only $11,000.
Yep, 11,000. I mean, I'm happy with that. That's my car broke down in December, so like that helps a lot.
The big check.
I've been walking everywhere.
Don't you think you should get a scholarship? Are you on scholarship already?
I'm not. No.
We think here. Hold on, Joe. Is this the camera here?
Yep.
Montana State, listen, I understand that the Bobcats are a very proud institution. I understand that over there in Big Sky Country, there's a lot of opportunity for people to do a lot of things. But to be completely honest, I knew of the Montana Grizzlies. Okay, I've known of the Montanimals that represent the University of Montana. I had no idea there was a Montana State until this man, Joe Thompson, stepped up wearing jeans and a tucked-in T-shirt. This film production major put your university on the map like no human in the history of Bobcat Montana State basketball. He should be on scholarship. He should maybe be athletic director, and I think all these other titles are things that Joe Thomas would relish in, or Joe Thompson would relish in.
No, yeah, I love that. I would totally take that. Sounds like a good time. I would be all about it being on scholarship.
What did you do afterwards to celebrate this whole thing?
Oh my God, I don't remember. I blacked out. No, I went to the bar for a bit, and it was too wild. Everyone recognized me. People are saying that's the guy who won. It was insane.
Do you always tuck your shirt into your jeans? Yeah, professional.
Always.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
You didn't have boots on though. That was
you were no boots though. Was that because you were in the contest, or is that just standard?
It's too icy outside. It's too slippery right now.
Got you. I heard a blizzard just began, so you can't really even go on a victory lap right now because everything's probably
I just did a photo shoot in my 4-piece denim suit. I'll send you the photos. They're, all that denim. It's good. It's great.
Joe, I want to let you know we're very proud of you. We're very thankful you came on. And if you don't get a scholarship, I am never going to talk about Montana State ever again.
Oh, man. And I thank you. And I love how you have a plant over your left shoulder. Huge fan of the plant over your left shoulder.
Hey, you and I, bro, that's what we got to do. Joe, you know what I could never do? Is drain a full court shot with what? 13,000 people? Probably 7,000 people watching? How many people were there?
Full stadium, 6,500. It was the biggest game of the season, rivalry game. Most packed. It'll be all season. Happen in front of everyone.
What year are you?
I'm a senior.
Oh, what a way to go out. Ladies and gentlemen, absolute legend, Montana State Bobcat, Joe Thompson. We appreciate you, Joe.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Hey, have a good one. I can't wait till you work here.
Oh, yeah. No, I'll be there soon.
All right. Sounds good, man. Take that new car you're going to buy for less than $10,000. They should give that kid a scholarship.
Well, because you're right, because they will, like the Come to Montana State montage that they use to get incoming students, they'll be using that clip for the next 50 years.
Absolutely. Give the kid a scholarship. Joe Thompson has given everything he's had to the Montana State Bobcats for the last 3 years. Let's give the guy a damn scholarship.
It's an impressive feat.
I've seen those things before, right? At games, halftime, where the layup, free throw, three-pointer, half court, full court. Usually it's for like 50 grand, 100 grand.
I was gonna say,
because
yeah.
it is so unlikely for somebody to hit all of those. This kid was just unconscious with the basketball. I absolutely love it.
11 grand in Montana is like 100 grand. So it's just,
Indiana's basically the same as Montana. Let's
yeah.
take it easy on that guy.
But I think that is why he didn't go nuts. It's like, oh, I can go like buy a Happy Meal for McDonald's after this. Like usually you're winning $1 million if you make that.
Jeez, I am happy for that guy though. I didn't know it was going to be him, by the way. He only had like 20 followers or whatever. And a bunch of his friends were like, at your brother Joe, I think is his name. Your brother Joe. You are brother Joe, right? Is what his name is, I think. I had a bunch of people tweeting me like, go on the pod at your brother Joe. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. And he was like, all right, deal. We start DMing each other. He's only got like 25 followers or something like that. He's only following like 10 people.
Half of Montana.
Jeez. I thought it was a fake account, though. I thought I was getting catfished. And
That would have been good, too.
Yeah, whenever he agreed to FaceTime, I was like,
what a photo.
Yeah, he's awesome, dude. Yeah, I'm a big fan of that Joe Thompson kid. What a make, too. And then the shout out to Kobe directly afterwards. I think that story, alongside the Zamboni driver who didn't start but ended up playing for the Carolina Hurricanes against the Toronto Maple Leafs after being an employee for the Toronto Maple Leafs, is maybe the top 2 stories of the weekend, even with Tyson Fury knocking out Deontay Wilder. That Zamboni story, this Zamboni story is a thing right out of a movie. I had no idea that this was possible, by the way. So, Nick, you're the hockey guy. That's Hockey Talk is a podcast you host with AQ Shipley.
Yep.
Pretty good podcast. Good conversation about hockey. Hockey doesn't get talked about often unless, for instance, a Zamboni driver ends up as a goalie in the NHL, which is exactly what happened with David Ayers this weekend. What are the rules on this? Because a lot of people are questioning this.
So every home team designates what we call the emergency backup goalie. It's usually like a team employee who used to play in college, played some level of pretty good hockey. This guy played in the past, but right now he's like a beer league goalie. He's a Zamboni driver for the Leafs minor league affiliate, the Marlies, and I guess he suits up in practice from time to time, takes a couple shots.
And he ended up being, after both goalies for the Hurricanes got injured, you took offense to the second goalie that got plowed, I believe. He was about 70 yards outside of his crease, got ran over.
Got a little adventurous.
He's out. In comes this Zamboni driver who said he didn't even know that the other goalie got hurt. He was just sitting in a back room waiting to get on that Zambone. And all of a sudden he started getting texts from his friends. It was like, you're up, pal. And he goes in. First 2 shots he sees, he lets in. Okay. First 2 shots he sees, he lets in. Coach Brindamore from the Carolina Hurricanes has a hilarious response on the bench. Just head down. He's got one of them broken hockey noses. Just head down, hand on face. Oh my God, what the hell is happening? And then David Ayers, Zamboni driver extraordinaire, playing goalie for the Carolina Hurricanes against his own employer, has an 8-for-8 save percentage in the third period, guiding the Carolina Hurricanes to a win, becoming one of the, I think he was the second star. First star of the weekend. Gets a bunch of stick taps from everybody, water being spilled all over him in the locker room, and he is now officially an undefeated NHL goalie. His last time playing, he went 0-8 in one of the lower leagues. Now he is 1-0 in the NHL as a Carolina Hurricane goalie. They are selling shirts with David Ayers' obviously name on it as a goalie. They've sold over 3,000 of them. All the royalties are going to David Ayers and to a foundation of his choice. I forget what it is. Kidney Foundation, which, by the way, Carolina Hurricanes are doing it right here. I think the Maple Leafs did it right. And David Ayers had the mental toughness to survive 2 just easy goals going by him to be 8-for-8 in the third period and get a big-time win. For
the full-court shot in this happening is a much longer shot than Tyson Fury winning the fight this week.
Tyson Fury is plus 420 for a knockout or something like that. Those two happening, probably plus 400,000 or something like
Easily.
that. Has there been any other stories of an emergency goalie coming in and playing more than a period?
I can't remember how long he played, but Scott Foster for the Blackhawks in, I want to say 2016, 2017-ish, came in, and he was like an accountant, and he came out of the crowd and played. So
I absolutely loved it. This should be a movie. We're probably going to try to make a movie out of this. I can't ice skate, so that could be tough. Who knows if David Ayers can, too. He actually looked pretty good, by the way. He didn't look bad. His wife was just blowing up the Twitter, I guess. And David Ayers was asked about that afterwards. He was like, I know my wife was going to be blowing up Twitter about this whole thing. Like, he expected it. His wife, by the way, good Twitter follower from what I've been told. I've been told his wife very active on the Twitter, the whole thing, and she just obviously had a time of their life with this thing. I think he didn't seem scared at all. He said he was telling the team, let me settle in here a little bit, boys. 2 goals go by, and he goes, let me settle in here a little bit.
He did it right. He enjoyed it. Like, a lot of people go and there might be a little tense. He was like, all right, I'm only getting one shot at this. Let's have a good time.
Yeah, and he said, I'm shocked, but I'm loving it. It was his exact quote. I'm a big fan of the guy. Let's go to Albert in Oklahoma City. Albert, what's going on, bub?
What's up, fellas? How are you guys?
Not too shabby. How are you?
Not too bad. A couple of quick points. Got to listen to the pod for the first time this weekend. I had a long drive, and got to say, I about drove off the road a couple times. Zeke, man, give them dogs a rest, man. You got to put the socks on.
I stopped
You
to
gotta put the socks
poop.
on.
The Pod is a podcast that we started just last week. Diggs is the host of it. He drives the train very well, and we talked about Zito's feet being disgusting in that. You can download that anywhere where podcasts are available. Thanks for that plug, Albert. What else you want to talk about?
The Battlehawks, and I saw this, and I didn't see the game, but I did see the story. These guys just get it. When the player gave the girl in the stands the football, and she gave him a box of Girl Scout cookies.
Mm-hmm.
There's such a connector with these players and the fans, and I wish that's what the NFL, they kind of lack. They're more buttoned down, very corporate, and these guys obviously not making the same money, those guys, but I think they're really enjoying it and bringing the fans into it.
I think that was the first home game for the team, right? So, I mean, that's a good way to set the tone. The fan base showed up. The St. Louis Battlehawks fans might be my favorite fan group that I've ever seen. They were all, I don't know if they were all intoxicated. That's quite a broad brush. But it seemed as if they were all intoxicated. The St. Louis Rams obviously left town. They said, we got a football team. We're going to show up and show out. They had fake wings on people. I mean, it was an awesome scene in St. Louis for the Battlehawks. Happy their team's good, too. Taylor Russolino hits a 58-yarder. Marquette King hits a bomb. Teamu's a hell of a quarterback, and their coaches are cool. I like that Battlehawks team, like their fan base more. Got about 20 seconds left in this first hour. We got Chris Harris Jr. joining us in the second hour. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff that we didn't talk about. Combine. We're going to talk about the Astros a little bit. Patrick Reed.
Your boy, Zion.
My boy Zion is going to win Rookie of the Year. I mean, this is an awesome time to be alive. This is the Pat McAfee Show, Monday, February 24th.
One by one, it's happening. People are freeing themselves from the hassle and frustration of their wireless contracts. It's a movement towards something simple. Simple Mobile. Truly unlimited, high-speed talk, text, and data on a 5G-ready network. And no contract. Ever. Get truly unlimited data on a 5G-ready network for just $45 a month. Simple Mobile. Out with the old, in with the simple.
from the heart of the nation. Not your medication, 2 hours of magic. Let's give it a go. Ladies and gents, it's the Pat McAfee Show. It's the Pat McAfee Show. It's the Pat McAfee Show.
You're damn right it is, handsome Chase Rice. Welcome back to the Pat McAfee Show here on this beautiful Monday, February 24th, 2020, 224. Kobe and Gianna Bryant's services are today in Los Angeles. Rest in peace to them. Obviously gone too soon. Happy that they're getting the entire memorial service today. Ice Cube was just on ESPN talking about it. I assume this is going to be something we're all going to want to watch. We'll be watching this afternoon. This past weekend, although it is not an NFL weekend, lot of sports stories popping out of it. It's been a beautiful Monday. The first hour was awesome. Joining me at Nick Moraldo, at Tone Diggs, Ty Schmidt, Jason McAfee, Cuban Zeet, at Evan Foxy, and Boston Connor. This past weekend, I talked about this in the first hour. I feel like I was lied to. I feel like everybody that was on the television talking about this big boy boxing match between the Gypsy King, Tyson Fury, and Deontay Wilder had lied to me. They picked and chose the information that they wanted to show. They picked and chose the highlight that they wanted to show me as a human that was going to gamble a lot of money on this fight. I watched all week as they were building up, both ESPN and Fox, two mega promoters coming together for the best fight with the best boxers. All they talked about was Deontay Wilder catching Tyson Fury right in his face and knocking him down twice, I believe. Knocking him down twice in the 12th round or something like that. So me, as an untrained boxing human, watching that. And then I see Deontay Wilder look like he's in about, 75% better shape, maybe 125% better shape than Tyson Fury. Then I see Deontay Wilder's from America. He's an American man fighting against a Brit. Then I hear and see Tyson Fury make a massive amount of cash with the WWE. Then I hear there's a chance that he might retire at some point. I'm like, well, Deontay Wilder, with everything that I've seen on TV and everything that I see with my eyes, and the human instinct of if this guy's going to be done soon, which, by the way, all rumors from what I've been told, all speculation and lies, I'm going to bet on Deontay Wilder. Then I went on this microphone and said Deontay Wilder is going to bury Tyson Fury. I perpetuated the lie that I was told, because once I turned on that fight on Saturday night, it's probably like 45 seconds into the fight, I was like, oh my, the Gypsy King, this man from Manchester, is absolutely much better at boxing than Deontay Wilder is. I had no idea how Deontay Wilder even knocked him down in the first fight. Tyson Fury was faster than him. He was 40 pounds heavier than him. He had a better strategy. Looked like he was more technically sound than Deontay Wilder. And if we're being 100%, much more entertaining than Deontay Wilder. He was everything that you could possibly want in a boxer, and I had no idea he existed until about a week and a half ago. That is 100% on me. I am bummed out that I didn't know that this 31-year-old man was not only the most entertaining boxer of our generation, the most talented boxer of our generation, and also a man that looks like he's going to be able to fight for another 5-10 years if we wanted to. I didn't know about Tyson Fury long enough. I should have known about him a long time ago, but I can't wait to watch the rest of his career and to YouTube his old fights. I am all in on the big Gypsy King Tyson Fury.
I think the biggest issue with this stuff, too, is all the pundits will say one thing or the other. Really, with these big-time boxing matches, the only people who actually know are the trainers and the guys that are in the rooms. It's like, go back to Anthony Joshua and Ruiz. It's like, oh, there's no way he's going to win. There's no way this is going to happen. But, I would assume that, his trainers, Fury's going into this, they're like, oh, yeah, he's incredibly polished. No one's giving him a chance anyway. He's going to go out there and he's going to beat the hell out of Wilder.
He wore the sunglasses at the last news conference. I thought that was potential because he had a black eye. Okay, he wore that puffy like starter jacket for the Vegas Golden Knights. He looked fatter than he was.
He had the cut lip,
He had a cut lip. He said that his the plastic surgery that he had to get on his eye had busted open 4 times in training. He was almost gaming everybody as well. It wasn't just like the ESPNs and the Foxes and the NBCs who were all trying to build up this fight, showing that one knockdown. But Tyson Fury was playing into that as well. And then Tyson Fury said, in like an offhand comment, he said that his dad said this was going to be the easiest fight to meet life. And I was like, oh my, is it? That was after I bet a very handsome amount on Deontay Wilder. And I was like, well, if his dad's not just going to lie to him and tell him like, hey, this is going to be an easy fight. But whenever I heard that, I was like, oh, I feel like his dad probably knows him pretty well. Why would he say that? And then I was like, yep, don't even look into it anymore. Don't even look up the first fight. Never watched the first fight that they had. Still haven't watched it. Going to watch that back now that I know a little bit more about the boxing. But then 45 seconds into that fight, I was like, oh my God, this behemoth of a man that is 6'9", 273 pounds, who's putting the pressure on Deontay Wilder, looks like he's just going to handle this thing quickly. And by the way, he did. In his corner even said to him before he knocked him out, he was like, time to go home. I'm like, what a hilarious comment, by the way. It's like, by the way, first 6 rounds, yeah, they were okay. You're doing well. It's time to go home, champ. And he's like, you got it. Knocks the guy out. Then he sings the entire American Pie song. He's like, if you know the song, sing it with me. Everybody in there except for his trainer knew the words, who's standing right next to him. I just love Tyson Fury, love what he did for boxing, and I can't wait for the next time that guy fights.
Not only is he huge, but he is so technically sound and the best defensive heavyweight probably of all time. And that was the thing, like against Wilder, he's got the kill shot, but Fury was just a better overall boxer.
But it wasn't even, from what I've been told, and this is by other people that don't know boxing. You.
Yeah.
From what we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not our thing.
No, we do not.
But from what I was told in the highlights that I seen, he was a defensive boxer, like when he played ping pong against somebody. Okay? There's some people that are just back there. They're just, they just return everything. They're not going for anything. They're just trying to keep it on the board. From the clips that I seen, Tyson Fury was that type of boxer. Hands behind his back, moving his head, like Muhammad Ali, like that duck type thing. Like, that's what I thought Tyson Fury was. I thought that's the type of fighter he was. Like, he'll be able to survive. But at some point, the big guy will be able to land a fight. And this is just me watching World Star films and just watching, like, things, other fights. I'm like, you know what? The guy that just tries to move all the time, at some point, he's going to get caught. Let's assume that's going to happen. That was not the fighter that I saw. He came right into Deontay Wilder's face, leaned his big 273-pound body on him at all times, and just dominated in every facet of the fight from beginning to end.
And that's what he said on Thursday, like I said earlier, on the press conference. He said, bullies don't like to get bullied, and that's what I'm going to do to him. And that's exactly what he did.
Me going to knock him out.
And I don't know at what point Wilder's eardrum bursted, but you could tell, like, because he would be getting hit around, and like his legs were so wobbly, like he was holding on to the rope. It was like, okay, it's only a matter of time before he's going down for good.
You got to remember, Connor said, at least let me wobble back to me corner. Deontay Wilder wobbled back to his corner like 3 out of the 6 rounds that he could wobble back. I mean, it looked bad early. As somebody who has punctured my eardrum, it is a terrible feeling. It is not. There's just a buzzing happening in the half of your head. It feels like your equilibrium's all off, and that's obviously what happened. But I couldn't fathom just getting punched in the back of your head and then just blood bursting out of your ear.
And then having 280 pounds leaning on you for all 7 rounds. He was just leaning on him, tiring him out.
By the way, he weighed in at 273.
Yeah.
Let's assume that it might have been even more there. I love Tyson Fury. I don't know if there's merch I can buy.
There definitely is.
Gypsy King.
I would like Gypsy King. That guy's a showman too.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just like he can beat the hell out of anybody on earth. It's like he's also gets it. Like he's a showman. And his story, that interview that got released by Rich Eisen, re-released by Rich Eisen, where he was talking about how he was on the way to a bridge in his performance car driving 160 miles an hour to kill himself. And he had to pull over on the side of the road because something in his mind said, don't do it. And then his dad took him to get help, and he kind of, his mental health came completely full circle. He said something he battles every day, but that moment kind of saved his life, and he got back into working out and things like that. And there's videos of him at 300-some pounds where he said, I'm going to start training again. He said he was going to run 8 miles on his first day back, and then he said, I only got to the end of the driveway, basically. But his commitment to actually bouncing back, I think, after having that type of mental fall is also admirable. I mean, it's just everything about this guy. The more and more I learn about him, the more and more I love about the guy. Before the fight just completely joking around and dancing, and then Deontay Wilder is super serious over there. We're going to learn more, I think, about what Deontay Wilder was like going into that fight. I think he might have had some injuries going in, but Tyson Fury was electric. And I'm bummed that I wasn't a fan longer. I'm bummed that I wasn't a fan of that guy longer. Triple H, Stephanie McMahon back there with him. Good for them. Good for him. Let's get to Jonathan in Santa Clara, California before we get to a break. Jonathan, what's going on, bub?
Nothing much. How about you and the crew?
Hey, we're good, man. We're great. Thanks for asking. How are you?
Pretty good. So I was calling in just to see what were your thoughts and maybe favorite song from the new BTS album, Map of the Soul 7, that came out last Friday.
Okay, great question, Jonathan. Everybody knows that we are a massive BTS show. Massive BTS show. And everybody knows that their Map of the Soul 7 album that was just released, I think it had like 7 of the top 10 songs out at one point because BTS only makes heaters. I was just going to put I'm not allowed to put on the song.
No, you can't.
I was just going to play some of my favorites from the album, but I'm not allowed to.
That is frustrating.
It is very frustrating, isn't it? Because all I wanted to do was let other people hear these heaters, these bangers, these incredibly positive and just magical songs, and their swan song too. This is it for them, right?
This is their masterpiece.
This is it. This is everything that BTS has done has led to this. Everywhere they go, they get massive applause. Everything they do gets massive buzz. But this album, Map of the Soul 7, is really the one that's going to carry on forever. And I'll probably listen to it for another 30 years if I had to guess. And I'm going to miss BTS whenever they're done, just like I did NSYNC.
Yeah. They're way bigger than NSYNC. They're way better than NSYNC.
I'm talking about me missing them whenever they're gone as much as I missed NSYNC. Whenever old Justin decided to break free from the NSYNC crew, I was heartbroken. I was very heartbroken. I'm like, yo, what about Lance, cuz? That guy's never going to make it alone. Justin, you can't leave these guys. What about the sporty Chris one? The guy that's tiny little elf-looking guy?
Yeah.
He's never going to make it without you, Justin. He was like, Justin said, listen, I got to go on me own. I got to go do my own thing. And Justin Timberlake has obviously gone on to his thing, but I knew the rest of NSYNC was done for. I knew they were just, dead in the water. I feel like there's a chance that these BTS, every single one of them is going to make it alone.
Correct.
That's the only thing that I can hold on hope for is that every single one of them will be able to make it as a solo act. If they want to.
Couldn't agree more.
They've already given their soul to their audience. They don't have to, but if they want to continue, I think they'll all make it.
Collectively, as a group, I miss them already, though. That's the thing. You almost don't want to see them go and do their own thing because what they had was so pure and so great that
it introduced us to K-pop.
It really did.
I miss them already because we've had to take an hour and 13-minute break now from listening to their album because we're doing this show.
Because we're not allowed to play it on this show. Anyways, thank you, BTS, for this album, and thank you for everything you've done. Honestly. That's how we feel here. At
We love you.
We do. If you're listening to this show right now, I want you to take a second and look down. When was the last time you shaved your junk?
It's been a while.
Years.
It has, hasn't
3
it?
of them.
3 years for you?
Yep, 3 years.
Well, let's take a second to thank our sponsor, Manscaped, for holding you accountable to get rid of that funk and to shave your junk. Guys, our confidence comes from our pride and joy, and when you trim the bushes, the tree stands taller. Manscaped is forever changing the grooming game with their Perfect Package 3.0. This is their brand new package that includes the best electric trimmer there is, the Lawnmower 3.0. This third-generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to prevent manscaping accidents. Millions and millions of testes are about to be nick-free thanks to Manscaped's advanced skin-safe technology. And, of course, let's not forget about the Crop Preserver, an anti-chafing ball deodorant and moisturizer. You already put deodorant on your armpits. Why are you not putting deodorant on the smelliest part of your body? The Perfect Package 3.0 also includes anti-chafing performance boxer briefs to keep your package cool and smelling fresh all day. For the on-the-go freshness, you'll love the Crop Reviver Ball Toner Spray. Say that 10 times fast. This is the perfect package for your perfect package. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code America at manscaped.com. Do yourself a favor and always use the right tools for the job. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code America at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use code America. Your partner and your family jewels will thank you. We're back on the other side talking a little NHL. A Zamboni driver is now an undefeated NHL goalie. Are you serious? Yes, I am. That's a wild story from the weekend that you probably heard about. Also, the Houston Astros suck again. This is the Pat McAfee Show, Monday, February 24th.
At Simple Mobile, you get the no contract advantage. Unlimited talk, text, and data now for $30 a month. Now on a 5G ready network with no activation fees and no contract ever. That's our best deal ever. Simple Mobile, out with the old, in with the simple.
Welcome back to the Pat McAfee Show here. 20 minutes after the hour, hour number 2. We'll be joined by Chris Harris Jr. in about 19 minutes. Where's the other thing? He is going to be a free agent. He's been with the Broncos for his entire career. Excited to talk to him about free agency and the things he thinks about the Denver Broncos. Also, what the hell happened with Emmanuel Sanders and John Elway? Would like to know that. That'll be a great talk. Let's do a little NHL talk because it doesn't happen often. Pittsburgh Penguins lost to the Capitals this weekend. Pettersson's a defenseman for them. He's a bum. I don't know how he gets on the ice. It's the first game I have watched for the Penguins, so I apologize to Pettersson if he had played better earlier in the year. here. Aside from that, and the Penguins losing to the Capitals 5-3 in a game that I thought I was going to be able to get my money back from losing in the Tyson Fury match, or Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, whatever. Aside from that, the big story this weekend from the NHL was emergency goalie David Ayres, who is an employee of the Toronto Maple Leafs, goes in goal for the Carolina Hurricanes in an emergency situation and logs a win against the Toronto Maple Leafs, being a full-time Zamboni driver. For more than on that, host of That's Hockey Talk, Nick Barado.
Thank you. Obviously, incredible situation, something you could write a movie about, as you've mentioned. We've seen it before with Scott Foster coming into play for Chicago back in the day, but this was just, the buzz around this was so electric because this guy played or worked for the Maple Leafs. He comes in, beats his own team, and it's just like, you don't see that ever. This guy, he's a beer league goalie, right? He's stopping pucks, having beers in the parking lot after practice, comes in, Major League, NHL, big show stuff, comes in, 8 for 8 in the third period?
Yeah, 8 for 10. His first 2 shots went right by him like Swiss cheese. Guy looked terrible, to be honest. I felt bad for him.
No warm-up, though, you know?
No warm-up. He said he was in a back room that didn't have TVs when he started getting text messages from his friends that were like, "You're up, pal. You're up, pal. Hello, how's it going? Zamboni driver by day. Hang out in a room by night. All of a sudden, you're in an NHL game. You're playing for the Carolina Hurricanes." He gives up his first 2 shots, tells the team, "Hey, boys, let me settle in a little bit. Stops 8 shots in the third period to guide the Carolina Hurricanes to a win that'll probably lock them in for a seed later on down the road, that we will have to look back and say this was the turning point for the Carolina Hurricanes. The Zamboni driver, David Ayres, getting the star of the match, star of the game, going in the locker room with a bunch of stick taps and celebrations, and the Toronto Maple Leafs cheering for an opponent was a beautiful moment in hockey.
They just made a big trade today, too. You're right. This could be the fuel to the fire that gets them into the playoffs. And then the Leafs, the Leafs are in danger of missing. Could you imagine this being the turning point? The Leafs miss the playoffs because of this?
Toronto
He'll probably get fired.
What?
He'll probably get fired as Zamboni driver if the Leafs miss the playoffs and it's his fault.
Well, if the Leafs miss the playoffs, maybe they should put David Ayres in the net. Maybe put the guy in the cage, huh?
Something to think about.
Maybe put the guy in the cage. He has an 80% stop, whatever, save percentage? That's pretty good.
No. It's terrible. But but their starting goalie isn't doing much better right now. So
let's go to Jerry down there in West Virginia. Jerry, what's going on, pal? Oh,
hey, what's going on, Pat? How you doing today?
Well, I just found out that 80% is not a good save percentage. A lot of good things happening here, Jerry.
I hear you.
Yeah,
hey,
amen.
former punter down here in West Virginia, so big fan of yours. I think I went to every single West Virginia game that you kicked in, so
my guy,
keep the support there.
Appreciate you. I wish that I and you weren't at one particular game that happened, but hey, overall great career. We thank the hell out of you, Jerry. What do you want to talk about?
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I don't remember much of that after a few beers, so I drank that away. So hey, man.
Hey, I tried to too. It just didn't work. What do you want to talk about, Jerry?
Hey, let's talk about this Tyson Fury entrance we had going on here. Everybody loves a good hype coming into the ring. We got Apollo Creed. We've seen what happened there. We got Mike Tyson. Everybody loves a good Mike Tyson entrance. We got the NWO. We got The Rock. Then we see Tyson Fury roll in with this Patsy Cline. At first, I was kind of weirded out about it. Like, what's this guy doing? But, I watched it a few times and thought, this guy is psycho. This guy's a psychopath.
Yeah.
He is going to hurt somebody.
Yeah.
In every good mob movie, we'll see a killer preparing for a good killing spree by listening to the soft music.
It does.
And that's what I started thinking. I watched it back a few times and I'm like, this guy kills people on the weekends. That's exactly what he does.
This guy kills people on the weekends. That's exactly what he does. Great take by Jerry. When we talked to Matt Matrione about his entrance music, he said Simple Man is his intro song because he wants it to bring him down. He wants to be in a very calm state. That Tyson Fury, now granted, you got to remember, I, alongside a lot of people, thought Deontay Wilder was going to win this fight.
Yes.
So coming in, I hated Tyson Fury because all of my money was on the other side. Mm-hmm. All of my money was on the hammer from Alabama, Deontay Wilder. Tyson Fury gets introduced first So, obviously, hate this guy, waiting for my guy. He comes out on the throne with the crown, the whole thing, the slow music. It was long. It was a long trip to the ring. And I'm like, this guy stinks. Why is this happening? Give me my guy. Then my guy comes out wearing a full kit. He has a guy rapping in front of him, Black Power happening movement. I'm like, this is my guy. Here we go. And then whenever you start to think back about that Tyson Fury entrance and you hear him, he's like singing along to it. Nobody else is really singing with him. It's kind of an interesting thing. He just seems like he does not care about anybody. Tyson Fury does not give a single damn about anybody. Now, I could place blame on Gavin DeGraw, okay? Gavin DeGraw will not escape judgment from me, pal, okay? Gavin DeGraw sang the national anthem for America before the fight. Some guy who was about 75 times more excited, enthusiastic, and better than Gavin DeGraw sang God Save the Queen and shouted out Tyson Fury before God Save the Queen, directly after God Save the Queen, and basically pledged his allegiance to Tyson Fury, right? Tyson Fury is standing over there with the crown on. God Save the Queen happens. He's the Gypsy King. Basically, this guy brought him, was singing directly to him, and all of his people sang it. Wished him luck. Tyson Fury is like, yeah, I got an entire country on my side right now. That has to feel pretty good going into the fight. Gavin DeGraw goes out there, and he goes, hey, how's it going? And then just belts out the national anthem and says, let's have fun, and then walks away. Not a word to Deontay Wilder. Didn't let Deontay Wilder know that the entire country had gambled a lot of money on him. Didn't let him know that the entire country was pulling for him. Didn't let him know that ESPN, Fox, and all these people have only shown his knockdown of Tyson Fury all week. Didn't say any of that. He looked like a scared dog up there singing. Now, a lot of people are judging him for how he sang the national anthem.
Yeah.
I won't do that because I can't sing good. So I just don't like that before the national anthem and after the national anthem. After hearing the Brit shout out Tyson Fury, he didn't think one time, like, you know what? I should give a little love to my guy, Deontay Wilder here. And that's potentially what got into Deontay Wilder's mind, that the entire country was not on his side. He had a little doubt. And when the big Gypsy King bum rushed him immediately off the front, he was already lost. So Gavin DeGraw is potentially the reason why I and many others lost a lot of money. And I will not let that stand.
First off, who is hiring Gavin DeGraw to do
no idea.
The national anthem for this? He hasn't had an album release since 2016, and that topped the charts at number 35.
By the way, I don't know who Gavin DeGraw is. I have no idea who he is.
I think he's country, right?
No.
See?
Alternative.
Yeah.
See, that's how much people know about him.
Alt pop.
He
There it
sounds
is.
like a country singer's name.
By the way, I didn't think he was
That's
that
Tim
bad.
McGraw.
Like, I didn't think the singing was that bad. I think it is very hard to do the national anthem. I've seen plenty of people mess up the national anthem. It's just one of those things where, you know, it's a song that everybody knows. So whenever you're singing a song that everybody knows, and a lot of people have a lot of pride in, if you change it just a little bit, you're going to look bad. So I'm not judging how he sang it, because we can do that with everybody. It was just what he did before and after that didn't let Deontay Wilder know that the entire country was on his side. That pissed me off. And I almost went into the ring. I almost got on a plane to Las Vegas and slapped Gavin DeGraw. I was like, listen, you heard the Brit basically just tell Tyson Fury, let's go win this thing, and you follow it up with looking like a scared dog. That's not what I'm about, pal.
I'm guessing he was probably like the 10 or 15th selection,
Had
because
to.
guess what? You have like Boys to Men or like Usher up there singing the national anthem. There's a good chance Deontay Wilder wins that
By the way,
fight.
Boys to Men has been everywhere.
They have. So I
Why
figured,
would
you know,
they not be?
I don't know.
They sing a great rendition of the national anthem.
They might have been booked. They have been busy.
Yeah, I understand. But imagine if it was any other American artist would have said before that fight, like, hey, Deontay, let's go. Oh, say. that, you know what I mean? Like, just something.
You're right, though. He probably was thinking, like, man, Gavin DeGraw snubbed me before this fight. Like, there's no way I'm going to win
Does
now.
America even care about me?
Yeah.
I mean, and that's a mindset you don't need going into a war against a Gypsy King. Gavin DeGraw.
They needed DJ Khaled. That's where they missed it.
What if DJ Khaled introduced somebody else to sing the national anthem?
I don't know how to pronounce that.
We the best.
Lion.
Now to sing the national anthem that I'll get credit for. Good for him. Let's go to Curtis in Jacksonville. Curtis, what's up?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Absolute pleasure to be on. Hello?
Hello?
Curtis, come on. Kurt! You said this is a pleasure. You're making it a nightmare for everybody.
Oh, he hung up.
Last call before we get to a break. Matt in Oregon, what's up, dude?
Hey, Pat, boys, how's it going? Hope you guys are having a great Monday.
Oh, we are.
So I was looking over at the new player agreement, and so they're talking about maybe not testing for vitamins. So from one vitamin user to another, I was wondering what your thoughts are on that.
I think they're still
is
fighting.
incorrect.
Yeah, they're still going to test them for vitamins. They're just upping the amount that you're allowed to have in your system, and they're not going to suspend players for fails. And there's only a 2-week testing period as opposed to a 3-month testing period. So every single player will know in the first, I think it's training camp, the first 2 weeks of training camp when the test is coming. Where in the past it was told to us that the testing starts on April 20th. Yes, 4/20 the testing starts, and it ends the second week of training camp, and you'll get tested one time in there. Now it's like, hey, it's only going to be a 2-week period. No suspensions will happen from any fails, and we'll up the amount of THC you're allowed to have in your system, which is basically getting rid of it while still covering their ass and testing for it, which is good for the NFL, great for the players, and I'd assume that's something that has been well received on the player side, but none of us will ever know because the players won't talk about what they like and what they don't like.
If there's no suspensions, why even test?
Just so they can say that they test. That's the only reason why. Just like in everything. You only do things just to say that you do it. Like, for instance, this radio show, people sell ads for it just to say that they sold ad for it, but we make negative $10 on those ads probably. Yeah. Probably even more than that if you were to really do the math on how much money we make off of it. $80 an ad read for this show?
Well, luckily, you're doing about 65 of them per 2-hour show, so it actually is adding up, just not in the way you expected.
It's like a bamboo tree growing. You know what I mean? It takes like 5-6 years to really blossom and do that whole thing.
Yeah.
$80.
Pays for the electricity we use during the show.
No, not even. That light, maybe. Maybe the electricity that goes to that light.
Pays for half of Pizza Hut Fridays. So what the hell are we doing? Hey, we also have Cole from Texas who body bagged Foxy last week on the line if you'd like to talk to him.
Roly-Coly. Roly-Coly. Roly-Coly, before I set this up, please. Evan Fox on our show. Hey, thank you for joining us. You're a legend of a human. Before you talk, though, I'd like to introduce people to who you are who aren't on Twitter. Evan Foxy last week posted a video on our YouTube where his legs look smaller than any human's legs I've ever seen before. Going back to Miley Cyrus's drug days, wherever she was on everything and they had that photo of her tiny little legs, they look like legs that had never walked anywhere. They look like legs that had never gone anywhere. We post a video of this thing, and on Twitter, a man replies at Roly-Coly and says that his legs, Evan Fox's legs, are smaller than mine, and I've been in a wheelchair for 10 years. Maybe the most savage comment I've ever heard in my entire life. Roly-Coly, this is you, sir?
Yes, sir.
I love you.
I just wanted to publicly apologize to Foxy for...
No.
Roly-Coly, don't.
Did Evan DM you to tell you to apologize?
Sometimes it can get a little too savage. I made a guy actually quit a comedy contest I was in with him because he bombed his entire set, and I went up there and I was like, my first joke, I said, Jesus, that was so bad even I almost walked out. And he called me a crippled fornicator and then tried to fight the host.
All right, so by the way, love your sense of humor. Roly-Coly, how long have you been in a wheelchair, and why are you in a wheelchair?
I wrecked a four-wheeler my junior year of high school 10 years ago.
Okay. And was it immediately upon that moment that you became paralyzed, and it was at that moment you realized you were going to make jokes about this and savagely ruin other people?
Exactly. So I learned that whenever I make jokes and laugh and joke about it, people are less weird about it. They're not on eggshells, like worried about offending me, and then learn that they can make jokes about it too, and makes people's day a little bit brighter whenever they see me laughing and joking.
Are we allowed to make jokes about it, or is this something where only you're allowed to make jokes about it?
Oh no, you are more than welcome to make jokes about it, because I do a lot of comedy. and it's pretty hilarious. I had a guy tell me one time during a comedy roast that he said Cole's a really great guy and he's a motivational speaker, but unfortunately he's going to still go to hell because there's a stairway to heaven.
Coley, you brought us a lot of happiness then. You're bringing us a lot of happiness now. I hope to meet you in person someday. If Foxy would have replied to you, though, something along the lines about that, you wouldn't have taken it personally at all? Would others who are paralyzed have taken that personally?
There are some people that don't have my same attitude. They're a little bit more sensitive about it, but I personally don't care. I think cripple jokes are better. I would much rather people make fun of me if they have a joke and not treat me differently just because I'm in a wheelchair.
Well, Cole, we appreciate the hell out of you, pal. You need to call back soon. I can't wait to meet you. We got to roll to a break, all right?
All right, y'all have a good one. Thanks for letting me call in.
I appreciate you, man. That guy's the best.
Love that guy.
36 minutes after the hour, we got Chris Harris Jr., free agent from the Denver Broncos on the other side. This is the Pat McAfee Show.
It's happening. People are freeing themselves from their wireless contracts. It's a movement towards something simple.
Get truly unlimited data on a 5G ready network for just $45 a month.
With no contract ever.
Simple Mobile. Out with the old, in with the simple.
Welcome back to the Pat McAfee Show here Monday, February 24th. Joining us now is a man who is a 4-time Pro Bowler, a Super Bowl champion, 3-time All-Pro from the University of Kansas, Rock Chalk J Hawk, about to be a free agent, Chris Harris Jr. What up, stud?
What's up, man? How y'all doing?
Hey, Chris, we are great. We can't thank you enough for joining us today. Excited to chat with you about your life. You're a Super Bowl champion. You're an All-Pro. You're a Pro Bowler, about to hit the market. What is your mindset going into it?
Right now, man, it's just enjoying the process, enjoying everybody recruiting you, man. It's different. When I was coming out of high school, I only had one offer, so I didn't get to go with that recruiting process. So it's kind of my first time actually going through it.
Okay, what has it been like being a Bronco from the Peyton era through the 45 different quarterbacks, and now you're kind of going to go see the world? What have you learned about what makes good football teams, great football teams, and then what potentially makes bad football teams that'll go into the process of where you select to go?
Oh, yeah, I mean, I definitely learned that it's a quarterback's league, and those guys pretty much run the league and run your team and how you're going to – and dictate how much success your team's going to have. So, and when we had Peyton, I mean, he drove that. I mean, he ran the show, and when he left, you could definitely see that we definitely missed him.
Okay, whenever you go into this free agency process, this is in the new CBA and everything, talking about money. Yeah. Everything revolves around your career is only this long, which is very short, and your life is going to be another 40 years after that, maybe 50 years after that. So you have to get as much money as possible. How much is it going to weigh between the maximum amount of contract and then the situation as well, in your eyes, you think, going into free agency?
Right now, I mean, that's what I'm fighting through right now, is just processing that. What I want to do right now, I don't know what I would do in that situation, but I'm just going through that process and trying to figure out what's going to be the best situation for me. Because, like you said, it could be a max value money somewhere, but then have a lower max somewhere with a great situation. So, like I said, I gotta go wade through my options when it comes to that time and figure out what I want to do.
Because you and I both know when you're winning in the NFL, life is much better. Eating's better. Whatever you drink tastes better. Fornication feels better. Everything is better when you're winning in the NFL. And then when you're losing, it is absolutely terrible. I don't think people truly understand that while trying to balance the business of it. I mean, it's a very difficult decision you're about to make.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's very difficult. And like you said, man, I've been going through it the last 4 years, and it definitely hasn't been fun at all. So, especially when you come in spoiled as I have. We won 5 straight division titles when I first got into the league, in the last 4 years not been able to make the playoffs. So I've definitely seen both sides of it, and I'm definitely tired of losing for sure.
Who's a wide receiver you played against you were like, that guy's different?
Oh, Julio Jones.
Well,
yeah.
I saw him at a blackjack table in the Bahamas once. Okay.
Yeah.
He had a wife beater on and some, I think he had like some linen pants on and some slides, and he was posted up at this blackjack. I have never seen a species the way. I mean, he's faster than you are. He's taller than you are. He's more agile and more athletic. Not you. I'm talking about me mostly. But looking at him in person, I couldn't fathom having to line up across from him.
Yeah, him, AB, those guys have been the toughest players I faced over my career last 9 years. But, man, Tyreek Hill, you can throw him in there. It's just one of those guys that are pretty good too.
When you get a read on a quarterback, what is something you find you're like, you know what, we feel good about this as a secondary? For instance, everybody knows that Richard Sherman in a Legion of Boom caught something on Peyton Manning in that Super Bowl, right? They knew something about him, whether it was the signals or something like that. What is something in the secondary that you're looking for on an offensive side that people might not know about?
Me, I'm looking at the total package, man. I look at how the receivers line up, their splits, the receiver splits, the formations. I love going through and finding out teams' bread and butters and what they like to do, their go-to plays. And that's really how I really make a lot of plays in this league, is just knowing what's going to happen.
What makes Tom Brady and Peyton Manning and Aaron Rodgers and Drew Brees, these quarterbacks that are just at a next level as a corner, what makes them better than everybody else?
I would say their preparation, man. They understand the game. They understand everybody's role on their offensive side, and they also know everything what the defense is doing. So you can't fool those guys. They've seen it all, and they have a high level of preparation, man, that guys in the NFL have to learn to get to there. And that's why they're able to stay at that high level for so long.
As a current player, especially one that's about to head into a massive business offseason, how close are you following the CBA conversation?
Oh, I'm right there with it, man. I'm a co-rep for our team with the Broncos. I was me and Brandon McManus, we talk about this all the time, just different ways and how we should vote and things like that on behalf of the team.
How close does it feel like this thing is to being done? Nowhere near it?
I wouldn't say it's not close yet. I think we still got to work through a couple things, but I don't think it was a all the way bad offer that the owners accepted, but there's still a lot of things that we can work through.
What are a couple of things in there that the public doesn't know about that players are like, you know what, this is something that we don't like? Because right now, the only information that's being leaked, it feels like, is the NFL is leaking strategical information to people to get the PR spin on their side, okay? We're adding $5 billion. We want to do this. We want to do that. They're getting the public's perception on their side. From the player standpoint, all we're really seeing is tweets saying, no, that's not good. What is it about it that is like just something that the public should know about the proposed CBA that the player
add $5 billion? If you split that up, there's really $3 million each team. And in the NFL, $3 million, that's really not a lot. For you can boost up a couple players, but it's not really like a big effect on each team. So I definitely think we can get more right there. The 17 games has been an issue just because they want us to play the 17th game, but they don't want us to pay. They don't want to pay us for playing the extra game. So right there, that's been a major issue. Is just how we get paid for. If we're going to play 17 games, how are we going to get paid for that? And I think that's probably been the biggest hurdle right there.
I think that's so interesting because whenever the first idea of 17 games was pitched, it might have been on my show, to be honest with you. I thought adding another bye week would be a good thing to do and also just keep the checks in proportion. Then when it came out, they're like, no, it's capped out at $250,000. There's no extra bye week. We're going to do this, this, and this. There's always like a little bit of a spin from the NFL that makes it just like, yeah, we're going to win in the end. And that's kind of probably the problem I'd assume the NFLPA is having.
And then also you're adding more playoff games, in which playoffs we get paid way less compared to we do during the regular season. So it's just another way that they're boosting and making tons more money, and we got to play more games for cheaper. So there's a couple things that we got to figure out, and those are just some of the highlights. There's a little bit more, but I think we'll be able to get it done though. I think after the season for sure.
Okay, well, I'm excited for that. What are some possible landing spots for Chris Harris Jr.? I'm assuming you and your team have done some research. What are some places that Chris Harris Jr. will be like, you know what?
Oh man, I can't discuss.
I thought I was gonna get it. I thought I was gonna get it. I was excited because there's teams like the Eagles, obviously. All last year it was said if they had a better secondary, they're gonna get a chance to go. All of these things, it feels like there's a couple teams that are gonna need your services. I'm excited to find out where you end up.
Yeah, I got a top 5 for sure. What I want in my head, where I want to go, but I can't disclose that yet, man.
Okay, you were on the Broncos. You were on the Broncos for a long time. You were there with Emmanuel Sanders. When he left to go to the Niners and become a stud there, I thought there was a potential situation brewed between him and John Elway. Is that accurate or not accurate?
Yeah. No, it wasn't no situation. He was just he wasn't getting the ball, plain and simple, and he just wanted to go somewhere to where he can go get the ball, make an impact for the team, and be able to have a chance to win. And so he just reached out to Elway. Elway really did him a favor, sent him to a good team, and that's really how that went. I don't think it was any hard feelings from me or anybody on the team because, I mean, we understood that he was a hell of a player. He just wasn't getting the ball.
He became a weapon for the 49ers immediately. That seems like a win-win then. If Elway's like, you know what, go get the ball here. He's friends with John Lynch. I'll send him in there. Diggs, what do you got? Yeah.
Going up against Drew Lock, do you think he's got a bright future? Because he played very well going down the end of the stretch for the season.
Yeah, I think so, man. Drew wants it. He's a guy that has a lot of confidence, and he's gonna make mistakes, of course, being a young quarterback. But I think the way he just energized us and came in and played well, I definitely like that about Drew.
I like Drew. I like his swag. I have no idea how he
Yeah.
is on a daily basis, but I like his swag a lot. Speaking of swag, you were calling us from a car that has red leather inside of it. What type of car is
Yeah.
that?
I'm at the gym, man. So I just hopped in the car, man. Did a call with y'all before, so it's too loud in there.
What car?
I'm in a Range Rover. Yeah.
Okay, well, hopefully here in the next few weeks, you'll be able to get about 10 more Range Rovers. Ladies and gentlemen, All-Pro Super Bowl champion, about to be a free agent, might land on your team, Chris Harris Jr. We appreciate you, man.
Oh yeah, no problem, man. Thanks for having me.
Cheers, dude. That was interesting because there's some information, right?
Yeah.
So everything that we potentially thought was the problem is the problem in there. 17th game, not getting paid for it. The $5 billion sounds good as a big number, but if you really break it down, it's only like an extra $76,000 per player in the entire league.
I enjoyed how you guys, you've talked about this a lot, that the playoff checks are basically nothing what you make in the regular season, and the NFL is going to be making so much more money if they're adding these playoff games, but the players are not going to be seeing any more of that extra playoff money.
And they're thinking about adding Monday Night Football into that.
That's a dumb idea.
Well, it's a dumb idea, it sounds like, but in a cash cow product, I mean, that is so much money. So I think the players, by the way, are right for taking a stand. I just wish they would come out and say this all before the NFL can leak the $5 billion and the more football and we're doing this and we're doing that, to kind of paint the image as if the NFL is doing the NFLPA a massive favor, when in turn it's not that. It's the NFL is trying to win outright in this cash negotiation, because that's what this is.
They want to get it done right now so that they can renegotiate the TV deals that are coming up here very soon.
That's what I was going to say.
It's hard to negotiate whenever you don't know how much more money they're about to make.
Correct.
Let's get to Phil in Chattanooga tomorrow, by the way. Phil in Chattanooga, Tennessee, who said that Derrick Henry should basically be shipped to the XFL instead of the Tennessee Titans. He says he's a Titans fan, wants Derrick Henry to play for the Battlehawks, not for the Titans next year. We'll talk to him tomorrow, get his rebuttal on that. We'll hit some more phone calls. Tom Telesco, general manager of the Los Angeles Chargers, joining us in studio tomorrow, 11 o'clock. He's in town for the Combine. A lot of questions for him. Old friend of mine. Can't wait to chat with him. This hasn't been a bad Monday. We covered everything we need to cover. Shout out to Joe Thompson for joining us, Chris Harris Jr., and all of you, wherever you may be. This has been the Pat McAfee Show from Indianapolis, Indiana. Have a great Monday.
At Simple Mobile, you get the no contract advantage. Unlimited talk, text, and data now for $30 a month. Now on a 5G ready network with no activation fees ever. No confusion, no complexity, no frustration, and no contract. Ever, ever, ever. Now get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a month. And now 5G ready. It's our best deal ever. Buyers now at nationwide retailers or at Simple Mobile dealers. Learn more at simplemobile.com. Simple Mobile, out with the old, in with the simple.